The Vizconde murder case. The Vizconde murder case, colloquially known as the Vizconde massacre, was the multiple homicide of members of the Vizconde family on June 30, 1991 at their residence in B.F. Homes, Parañaque City, Metro Manila, Philippines. Estrellita, 49, had suffered 13 stab wounds. Carmela, 19, had suffered 17 stab wounds and had been raped before she was killed, and Jennifer, 6, had 19 stab wounds. Loro Vizconde, Estrellita's husband, and the father of Carmela and Jennifer, was in the United States on business when the murders took place. The lead suspect was Hubert Webb, whose father Freddie Webb was famous as an actor, former basketball player, and former congressman and senator. The other defendants were Antonio Lejano II, Hospicio Fernandez, Michael Gachalian, Miguel Rodriguez, Peter Estrada, Joey Filart, and Artemio Ventura. In the trial court, People of the Philippines versus Hubert Webb, et al., GR number 176864, it became one of the most sensational cases in the Philippines, being described as a trial of the century. The men were convicted by the Parañaque Regional Trial Court, which the Court of Appeals affirmed. Except for Filart and Ventura, who had been convicted in absentia, the men were later acquitted by the Supreme Court on December 14, 2010, for failure of the prosecution to prove their guilt beyond reasonable doubt. The case remained unsolved for almost 4 years, until eyewitness Jessica Alfaro, a self-confessed former drug addict, came forward on April 28, 1995 to shed light on the killing of the Vizconde. Alfaro implicated the children of wealthy and prominent families including Hubert Webb, Antonio Lejano II, Hospicio Fernandez, Michael Gachalian, Miguel Rodriguez, Peter Estrada, Joey Filart, and Artemio Ventura. Trial prosecution. The trial began in August 1995 before Parañaque City RTC Judge Amelita Tolentino. Alfaro had testified that she knew the suspects and was at the Vizconde house when the crime was committed. By Alfaro's account, after a drug session with the group, Hubert Webb allegedly had hatched his plan to rape Carmela Vizconde. Webb wanted Alfaro, the then-girlfriend of one of the accused men, Peter Estrada, to join them because Estrellita Vizconde only allowed her daughter to go out and entertain female visitors. Alfaro testified that as Webb followed Carmela into the dining room, she decided to step outside for a smoke. From there, she allegedly saw Lejano and Ventura take a knife from the kitchen drawer, while the rest of the gang acted as lookouts. Alfaro said Estrellita was killed before Webb began to rape Carmela. Jennifer woke up and, seeing Webb violating her sister, jumped on him and bit him. He then hurled the little girl to a wall and started stabbing her. Alfaro said that when she went back to the house, she saw the bodies of Estrellita and Jennifer on the bed and Webb raping Carmela on the floor. Lejano and Ventura also took turns raping Carmela, before finishing her off with numerous stabs. Alfaro said that policeman Gerardo Bayong was instructed by Webb, in my presence, to take care of the house where the incident happened. Alfaro also said that she bumped into Bayong at the Faces Disco in Makati in March 1995 and relayed to her the offer of the group to give her a free ticket to the United States to shut her up. She added that suspect Miguel Rodriguez warned her to shut up or you're gonna get killed in the same disco on April 8, 1995, prompting her to voluntarily submit herself to the National Bureau of Investigation, NBI, for protection. 8. According to the footage of the trial, Alfaro had been able to identify all the defendants by their names. The defense questioned Alfaro's credibility, noting that she admitted to being under the influence of drugs when she allegedly witnessed the crime and had made inconsistent statements on her 2 affidavits. Alfaro said she was then having reservations when she first executed the first affidavit and held back vital information due to her natural reaction of mistrust. Alfaro's testimony was corroborated by other witnesses including Lolita Burr, a former live-in partner of policeman Gerardo Bayong, who narrated the manner of how Bayong investigated and tried to cover up the crime. Burr said she had accompanied Bayong to the Vizconde house to destroy the evidence and to retrieve Webb's jacket and the murder weapon. She also testified that Byong received money at a house that she later learned belonged to then Parañaque Congressman Freddie Webb, the Webb family's maids, Mila Gaviola and Narissa Rosales, who both testified that Hubert Webb was at home on June 30, 1991. At about 4 a.m. on June 30, 1991, Gaviola woke up and entered the bedrooms to get the Webb's dirty laundry and wash it as part of her job. She said that when she entered Hubert's room, she saw him wearing only his pants, awake and smoking in bed. While washing Hubert Webb's clothing, Gaviola said she noticed fresh bloodstains on his shirt. After she finished the laundry, she went to the servants' quarters. But feeling uneasy, she decided to go up to the stockroom near Hubert's room to see what he was doing. In the said stockroom, there is a small door going to Hubert's room, and in that door there is a small opening where she used to see Hubert and his friends sniffing on something. She observed Hubert was quite irritated, uneasy, and walked to and fro inside his room. Security guards Justo Cabanacan and Normal White. Cabanacan said Webb had entered the subdivision, where the Vizconde house was located, a few days before the massacre, and that he even identified himself as the son of then Congressman Webb. White, on the other hand, said he saw the 3 cars enter the subdivision on the night of June 29th, as Alfaro had testified. White also testified that policeman Gerardo Byong was the first to arrive at the crime scene.